We are all set to go from Patriots Point in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina for a clash of two of the top teams in the USL Championship. It's the Charleston Battery and Sacramento Republic. Tonight's presenting sponsor is Hendrick Volvo, Charleston's premier retailer of new and pre-owned Volvos. With the former U.S. Women's National teamer, Casey White, I'm Josh Eastern. The standings in the Eastern Conference, Charleston still trying to catch Louisville, but with one more game played, that is going to be a tough task. So 3 points tonight is crucial at home. In the Western Conference, Sacramento Republic also coming in second spot. They have 2 games at hand against New Mexico, and they are 10 points behind the black and yellow in the standings. Looking at our game tonight, the Charleston Battery have been so good at home. They have 10 wins on their home field, and they have 5 of their final 7 at Patriots Point.
Well, it's nice when you have a goal scorer like they have in Mark Hannick, but really their goals do come from a lot of places. They get a lot of numbers forward. They score in a variety of ways, and that's just really helped them with their form here in 2024.
10 wins, the second best home form in the USL Championship, and many more home games to come for this Charleston side as they look to officially book their spot in the playoffs. That man, Nick Marcanic, the forward, he just scored a goal in that picture there, and he has a chance at history tonight.
And that's so exciting, and everything he touches seems to turn to gold, and he's in great company with Barry and Lancaster and going for that record.
So Charleston, very good at home. The team they're playing tonight, Sacramento Republic, very good on the road. Just one road loss. It came in their last road game against Lou City.
And this is incredibly impressive because you have to hang in games when you go on the road. It's really the odds are stacked against you, but they have figured out not only how to hang in there, but get those points, steal them, and take them back home.
They have the least road losses in the USL Championship. They just played their last road game against Lou City, the top team in the East. Now they'll take on the second place team in the East, and a big reason why they have been so successful is because of their defense. The best defense in the league, and Jack Garrett outside back has been a big reason why.
He really has, and when you have a player like him who's so solid defensively, that's one thing, but then also someone who can get forward and aid in the attack like he does. 5 assists so far on the season. He gets down that outside flank, serves a lot of balls in the box, and really is good in that attacking third.
We are building you up to first kick tonight, an East versus West battle. The number 2 team in each conference. They convene here in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. We'll have lineups in first kick from Patriots Point on the way.
When you know that you're finally home, and that long stretch of road falls behind that line. Won't stop, don't stop, believe and tell me what you want.
Starting lineups tonight are presented by Michelob Ultra. And for the Charleston Battery, players coming in and out of the squad, so it's 3 changes tonight for Ben Pierman.
Yeah, and they come out in their 4-2-3-1 with Marcanic, of course, up top, but also Drac will be on that left side. Watch for them to get in the wide spaces with Conway running through the middle, looking to create a lot of opportunities going forward.
Regular starter Leland Archer out on international duty with Trinidad and Tobago. For Sacramento Republic, it's just 1 change. for Mark Briggs. They've had a little bit of time off since the 1-0 win over San Antonio.
Yeah, and they'll be in the 3-4-3. Cicerone, Phillips, and Ross, all players in their own right that can score and assist. But you've got Gurr and Sanchez in those wide spaces. Look for them to get forward and really put the pressure on higher up the field.
And a return to Charleston for Justin Portillo, where he spent 4 seasons and made over 100 appearances for the club. We are ready to go for kickoff tonight. Our referee is Alyssa Nichols, very experienced referee in the USL Championship and in the NWSL. This is one of the premier games in the USL Championship tonight, and we are underway. It's the Charleston Battery and Sacramento Republic. A team that loves to score goals with Charleston, and a team that loves to not concede goals in Sacramento Republic. And it shouldn't be a surprise that last time out, Sacramento Republic, a 1-0 win against San Antonio. Another clean sheet for this side. They have the least conceded goals in the USL Championship with 20. As Arturo Rodriguez is cut down early. But both Charleston and Sacramento, their last games against San Antonio. Charleston a 1-1 draw last week. Sacramento 2 weeks ago, 1-0 against San Antonio. And based on all the numbers we showed you, home form, road form, that's what makes this game so intriguing tonight.
It really does, because it's such an interesting matchup. Which one is going to work better?
This is played over the top. The flag is up for offside. Looking for the run again of Arturo Rodriguez. And a free kick for Danny Vitiello.
And you can already tell with the Battery looking for that direct ball over top, being at home, wanting to get on the board early, looking to expose Sacramento Republic, because you don't want a team like Sacramento Republic to settle in and get too comfortable defensively, because they're already very compact and disciplined.
Luis Felipe went high with that boot, but able to keep it for Sacramento, and Jack Gurr turns it upfield. Gurr gets end line, the cross comes in, and Grinwis plucks it down. Another player playing against his former club is Adam Grinwis, who has been the regular starter for Charleston this season. He played in 2020 with Sacramento Republic, only made 4 appearances, but still counts as his former club. Picked up by Rodriguez, trying to go quick through the middle for Juan David Torres. New player that's been added to this attack in 2024. Up to 10 goal contributions now to his name, 4 goals and 6 assists. But when we talk about this attack, it's all about Nick Marcanic and his 24 goals, 1 away from tying the USL Championship record. Cameron Lancaster and Haji Berry. It's been a couple of games now since he scored, so we're expecting, at least his pace should say, he should score again pretty soon.
Exactly, and it's always so impressive when a player has a season like he is, because he's on every scouting report. Everyone knows about him, of course, and when you continue to do it, it's just so impressive because everyone's focused in on you.
He is no doubt the focus again tonight for Mark Briggs in Sacramento. He said, we need to be at our best defensively. He said, we'll be under pressure. But what they have done on the road this year is nothing short of impressive. Just 1 loss, that's least in the USL Championship. Charleston's only lost once on their home fields. Here's Juan David Torres as it comes centrally. Marcanic for Rodriguez. Is it back for Torres? Broken up and cleared away. But won back quickly, Mark Segbers. Here's Jay Chapman. Those white jerseys back behind the ball defending for Sacramento. Jackson Conway, who's handed a start tonight.
And Sac Republic does really well just in those wide spaces. That's the area that Charleston Battery is going to want to get into, but they get so many players behind the ball. They're holding mids, get back, and they get that defensive compact shape. So if it's not capitalized on early in transition for the Battery, it's going to be really hard to break them down.
Different look for Charleston tonight without Leland Archer. I'm curious kind of what this was going to look like on the back line. Dos Santos does have experience playing at center back last year with Pittsburgh and the year before that with Pittsburgh. Made 50 appearances for the Riverhounds. Chris Allen, he thought maybe could slide into that back line. But without Leland Archer, he's been their rock at the back. This is floated forward and too close to Danny Vitiello, who gets 2 hands on it. Our injury report is presented by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. This is what it looks like. Shane Wheat went down with that nasty injury against Pittsburgh in August, and still missing some crucial players, including Rodrigo Lopez, who Mark Briggs pointed out, saying that is such a big loss for us. They have battled injuries this entire season. This is chipped to the end line. Nick Ross, a deflected cross coming in. Grinwis has to punch away. Gurr keeps it alive. Gurr gets end line now. His cross deflected. Josh Drack looking to play out, and he couldn't get it clear. And it's a throw-in going Charleston's way.
And Sacramento Republic is pressing so high. They're picking really good moments to just keep Charleston locked in.
Ben Pierman said Sacramento have a little bit of San Antonio in them in terms of this pressure. He thought that they would press this team high, and that's what we're seeing here early on as they win the ball back with Ukebu. He couldn't keep it though.
You definitely don't want to give the battery a lot of time to possess, especially out of the back, because they can settle in and really have some great interchange and movement.
Charleston with the highest average possession in the USL Championship this year at 58.2%. Switch of play, Sanchez chasing after it. He won't get there, and it harmlessly rolls out of play. This is just the fourth all-time meeting between Charleston and Sacramento. They played each of the last 2 years. A 4-2 win for Sacramento here in Charleston, and their only ever trip here before tonight back in 2022. Last year in March, they played to a 1-1 draw. Before that, the only other matchup was back in 2014, where Sacramento got a 3-1 win. So all of that is to say, Charleston has never beaten Sacramento. It seems like all roads are going to go through Louisville City in the playoffs this year, but with all the chaos we saw last year and Pittsburgh going down in the first round, you just never know, and it wouldn't be a big surprise if these were the last two teams standing at the end of the playoffs this year.
You're right, and you just never know, because it is all about timing too. What kind of form you're coming into, what does the health of your team look like, can you maintain that form? So you want to be playing well, and yes, people want to be in that #1 seed, but once the playoffs start, it really is those little things that can separate teams.
Both teams coming in good form. Charleston 3-1-1 in their last 5, only 2 losses in their last 12 games. As Luis Felipe comes forward, it's out of play, and it's a corner kick for Sacramento. They won 2 straight, 4-2-1 in their last 7, including a clean sheet in 4 of their last 7 games. Shows you how good they've been defensively. This corner kick brought to you by Pepper Law Firm, the official legal services partner of the Charleston Battery. Just touched into play, getting end line and rolling it in towards the near post. Sacramento trying to keep it, and they will, and a throw-in. Break free centrally, Charleston win it back. Torres, now Segbers, and Markanek. Now Dos Santos and Graham Smith. Smith along with Archer has been the duo at center back this year, but with no Leland Archer, it looks like Nathan Dos Santos is getting to partner Smith tonight. Floated forward, chested down, Conway. Now Markanek and Jay Chapman. For Juan David Torres, tries to cut it back. Torres drags the shot wide. A decent effort there for the Battery, their first look at goal tonight.
And that was a really good spell of possession that started this entire attack off, really patient. But then it was the 3rd time just in a matter of these 9 minutes that they've gone really direct originally. This is Juan David Torres taking a little bit of deception there, getting it on the left foot, brings it wide, so not on target, but you can just see how creative and technical he can be in that final third. You had Drac getting around the outside, so that causes the defender to kind of hesitate to step to that shot.
Danny Vitiello will put it back in play. The Battery could clinch their playoff berth this weekend with a win or a draw, but they need Oakland to get a result against North Carolina. That game kicked off at the same time as us tonight. North Carolina already have a 2-0 lead in that game. Not looking great, but the magic number is 5 for Charleston. It's a matter of when and not if they will clinch a playoff spot. Mark Briggs, still a little bit more work to be done for Sacramento this year in terms of clinching that playoff spot. But again, it seems a matter of when and not if for Sac Republic this year. Second in the Western Conference, but 10 points behind New Mexico.
You can just see here Sacramento Republic's completely fine with just letting the center backs play. They're going to have to look for those long balls and maybe denying service, but they'd rather have the ball back there. And this is how you advance it, is by playing a little bit more direct. The Battery are starting to do that a little bit more as we begin the half.
Moved out wide for Josh Drack. Hasn't had too many chances in the starting lineup this year, Drack, but with some players out of the team, he gets a chance tonight. There's also a change on that front line with Jackson Conway getting a start for the Charleston Battery. MD Myers on the bench, but Marcanic and Myers, the top scoring duo for pretty much the entire season. 37 combined goals, 3 away from setting a new record for the most scored by an attacking partnership in championship regular season history.
And that partnership is really important because we talked about how teams know about Marcanic and still he's able to score. But when you do have someone else that's delivering like MD Myers is, it opens up that for both of them and it becomes very hard to defend.
Here's Chris Allen, cross coming in. Conway late to react. Chapman battling. And Jack Gurr trying to go over the top quickly. And taken there by Adam Grinwis. Long over the top, and the turf monster takes away the opportunity for Arturo Rodriguez.
And that's so unfortunate because it's a great ball in behind. When you have players in that or a team that plays in a 3-back, you've got that space in the wide area, and you can tell that the Battery are really looking to expose that. Just a little bit unlucky there from Portillo.
It is an absolutely beautiful night here in Charleston. Temperatures in the mid-70s. You can see the sunset in the background. You saw it a moment ago. This is a Chamber of Commerce night for Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, in the Charleston area. Floated out wide. Quick whistle there from Alyssa Nichols, but play on. Allen blocked down by Cicerone. Cicerone coming forward, cutting it infield. Russell Cicerone lifts it out of play, trying to mark his 100th regular season appearance with a goal.
And whenever Cicerone is facing forward in the 1v1, he's dangerous. I like the choice from him in this moment because really you're not going to get something with power when people are that close to you, trying to catch it off guard. Doesn't come down, but right here, looking for that back post, just trying to bend it in, not able to do it. But the Battery are going to have to be a little bit closer to him, especially inside the penalty area.
A whistle because Nathan Dos Santos is down behind the play. It's Kieran Phillips who has a quick word with Alyssa Nichols. Phillips with 7 goals, the loanee from Huddersfield Town in England. Good attacking options on the bench tonight for Mark Briggs in Sacramento. Trevor Ammon and Sebastian Herrera both available on the bench tonight. Mark Briggs saying this is the first time in my Sacramento tenure we've had 3 strikers, so they all provide something a little bit different. Right now, the hot hand is with Phillips.
And what's really nice about that is that they can all play in different positions up top, so there can be a lot of interchange. It's not predictable because of the movement that they feel comfortable with being in any part of the field up there.
Loaded forward, bouncing out of play. And there's that high pressure again. Segbers back in the lineup after his red card suspension last week against San Antonio. He picked up that red card in the 6-0 win against Orange County here a few weeks ago. Cut in field for Luis Felipe. And Justin Portillo, his second matchup this year against Charleston. He played Charleston earlier this year with Tulsa. That's a good turn by Cicerone. The shot blocked immediately. And Charleston quickly looking upfield with Josh Drack. Now Torres, and they'll slow it down with Segbers.
And what stopped that transition was actually Nick Ross coming all the way down to make sure that he was in the defensive back line, and that's one of your forwards. So that's really important because those transition moments for the Battery could be really fruitful when they can get numbers forward.
Gonna play this over the top, and stepping in just in time was Jared Timmer. Jack Gurr. Long ball over the top, some contact between Phillips and Dos Santos. And Alyssa Nichols comes in waving her finger saying no, and play on. Mark Briggs not too pleased about that decision, or non-decision.
Yeah, and it was definitely one that looked like that could have been a foul, especially because the ball was really weighted well in behind. It was kind of causing Grinwis to have to make a decision, but it was a tight one.
Dos Santos, he's played most of the year at left back. Hasn't played a ton of center back this year. He did play there the past couple years with Pittsburgh, but it's always first 16 minutes getting your whereabouts again.
Yeah, that can be a really big part of it. And Jack Gurr played that really early, and Phillips coming off the blindside shoulder with the run. It was a really well-timed run. So just that probably wakes Dos Santos up just a little bit right there because he knows that Phillips is looking to penetrate in behind.
Going to play this down the line. Timmer there to cut it off again. Here's Jack Gurr. This was the side of the field that Ben Pierman talked to us about. His left versus Sacramento's right with Cicerone and Gurr. So we'd have some changes down the left and see if Sacramento wants to utilize this near side, at least in the first half.
Well, you can already tell that off the left side of Sacramento Republic, Sanchez comes a little bit more inside, so he plays a little more inverted. But with Gurr and Cicerone, they can both do either play inverted or use the width. And so that's a part that they're really going to try to get into, create 2v1s and get crosses off. So far, so good from Charleston Battery, just recognizing that and being aware.
Here's Luis Felipe through the middle for Kieran Phillips, and now trying to release in behind. Shooting chance, it's in! Aldair Sanchez scores for Sacramento, and the best team on the road in the league leads on the road.
And it's incredibly impressive, this little ball. It's weighted perfectly. What a great strike. It goes to the near post. It's extremely hard to do, but Sanchez makes no doubt about it, strikes it low, right in the run of play. And it's a great ball from Phillips in behind right there, recognizes the space, does the turn to go opposite, keeps it on the same side. And Sanchez comes from that inverted position, no one tracking him, and a great finish.
Sanchez with his second goal on the season. This is his first goal since April 21st against Orange County, the 2-0 win. And Sanchez, his second season with Sacramento, started in the Portland Academy, played his college soccer at North Carolina, and now on the board tonight in Charleston. That was a great ball in behind to play Sanchez in.
Do you think he heard us talking about the right side
Yeah.
and took it personally? No, I mean, he's been great. He's been coming in that inside space, and what I loved from Phillips on that one was he looked like he was going to distribute out to the right flank, doesn't do it, recognizes that space that was left open, and slots it home perfectly. When you play a ball with the kind of weight that Phillips did, it makes it so much easier for the recipient like Sanchez in that moment to be able to get it and within 2-3 touches be able to finish.
Charleston coming into play tonight was tied for the second least conceded goals with 25. Obviously, Sacramento, we've talked about, is the best defense in the league, and now it's going to be difficult for Charleston, although they have scored 16 goals in their last 5 games. So scoring has been pretty, I want to say simple for them, but it's come relatively easy for them this year.
Not a problem.
Cross bouncing in, not dealt with all that well by Jared Timmer as he concedes a corner kick to Charleston. It's a Pepper Law Firm corner kick on the way. Juan David Torres will be taking this. Juan David Torres set to take it. It's an in-swinging ball, a lot of traffic in there, but Vitiello able to hold on to it.
Sacramento Republic goal scored in the 19th minute by number 40, Alder.
Battery matches are the perfect place to make lifelong memories with your friends and family. Your group of 10 or more can enjoy discounted tickets, exclusive on-field experiences, and private hospitality areas to catch the match. Visit charlestonbattery.com to learn more and plan a memorable night at Patriots Point. Coming forward again, it was Cicerone on the effort and sending it out of play, a goal kick.
And he's just really floating in that midfield space and going from right side to left side, underneath, and it's that pocket in front of the back line that he's able to expose there. And it's almost as if they forget he's floating around in that area, and he's always looking to go to goal, and it's so dangerous.
Luis Felipe through the lines again. Some contact, and the referee waves it away again. Torres looking in fields. And Chris Allen. A lot of moving and shaking to this starting lineup tonight. Emilio Acaza starting on the bench. MD Myers starting on the bench. 2 regular starters. We've talked about Leland Archer away on international duty.
I think it kind of showed early on, just the speed of play was a little bit slower. It was like kind of figuring things out. When you play against a team like Sacramento Republic, you got to move the ball. Yes, they were playing vertical, but it just wasn't very quick, and it allows Sacramento Republic to get back and sort out their defensive shape.
Torres looking to chip this over the top, and Vitiello comes to claim it for Sacramento. Already past the midway point of this first half. It is Sacramento in control on the road. They've only lost once on the road this season. It was last time on the road against Lou City. And that was a wild game, if you'll remember. 4-3 was the final. Floated forward again. Gurr nods it along. Dos Santos sends it back upfield for Charleston. Coming together in the middle, Portillo and Rodriguez, and a free kick will go Charleston's way.
Well, a bit too aggressive on that one, but you can see what Sacramento Republic's trying to do. They want to press up. Gurr's really high, trying to make the wingers of Charleston defend. Portillo a little bit over anxious there to win the ball back, but it really does disrupt your opposition's play when you're pressing that high.
Charleston, a team that like to keep the ball, so when they're under pressure, Speeding them up. That's not exactly how they want to play. Drac. He was very emphatic in saying that should have been Sacramento's ball, and he'll get his wish. Lofted forward. Headed back. Grinwis was at the top of his area. Alyssa Nichols, the referee, had a good view of that, and it was all clean. That could have been disaster for Charleston.
It was a good heads-up play by Grinwis in that moment because he couldn't quite hang on to it, knew where he was in that moment, and then let it drop down to play it. So good by him just being aware, because that could have been a little bit scary.
Here's Drac. Looking to play it over the top. Jostling with Conway and Timmer. And a whistle. This will go the other way. The USL Championship soccer continues on the ESPN networks in September with a matchup of top teams from the Eastern Conference. Detroit City takes on Players Shield leader Louisville City in a Sunday afternoon clash, September 22nd at 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Vitiello to send this back upfield for Sacramento. Feel pretty good coming on the road to a tough place to play against a team that is 10 wins on their home field out of 12. They already have an early 1-0 lead. Here's Gurr getting in line. Gurr's cross dealt with by Allen. Gets it away. Portillo lofting it into the corner. Gurr couldn't get there, and it's out of play. It's a throw-in deep in that corner.
And that's a great ball because it just turns the back line and they have to run towards their own end line and own goal. That's just an uncomfortable position to be in. But the organization of Sacramento to be able to stay behind the ball and not allow it out is really important.
Cross coming in, dealt with in the middle by Graham Smith. Jay Chapman gets it out. Conway holds play up for Charleston. Torres lofting it through the middle. Marcanic is there. Good work by Lee Desmond. Allen with time and space. His touch will find him more space. Charleston will keep it with Segbers.
But I think it's really good to get Segbers on the ball, get Drac on the ball. Just look the way that Sacramento Republic defends. Those are the open spaces. The outside backs of Charleston have to get forward and draw the wing backs out for Sacramento Republic.
Possession, it seems, for Charleston has been in this area of the field. Haven't had too many dangerous moments going forward. Just one shot so far through almost 28 minutes. Another foul going against Charleston. And right now they are up against it against this Sacramento Republic side who came ready to play tonight.
They are, and you know, we talked to Ben Pierman about those vertical options. We are seeing Charleston trying to play a little bit more direct, trying to catch Sacramento Republic off in transition, but it's not really breaking them down quite yet. I think they can look for the outside space more vertically, and that might help. But the speed of play in their possession right now is where they're struggling and trying to get on the ball more.
There's Phillips looking to connect with Gurr, and Dos Santos slides in. We asked Ben Pierman why they've been so successful at home. He said, one, we've been able to build the ball. Haven't quite seen that tonight. They'd be able to create and finish chances. Well, they haven't created much so far in this game, so still have not been able to check either of those boxes, and then they want to put pressure on the opposition. Haven't quite seen that yet either. So those three keys have not quite come to fruition for the Battery yet.
Well, and that's something you've got to give credit to your opposition in this moment for because of the high press. But I think as a coach, when you see that happening, you've got to go back to speed of play. The ball movement has to move a little bit quicker. And I just don't think we've seen that so far. They're not really shifting Sacramento Republic much in this first half, so gaps just aren't opening up. Now with the goal, Sacramento Republic can even sit in a little bit more and just pick their moments to press.
Pressure isn't too high here as Dos Santos and Smith look to build out for the Battery. It's not often we go almost 30 minutes and really haven't talked a whole lot about Nick Marcanic and his influence on this game. The Battery are back at Patriots Point on Saturday, September 21st, facing the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Tickets are available now via SeatGeek, the Battery's exclusive ticketing provider. Get your tickets now and save up to $10 per seat when you buy in advance. Head to tickets.charlestonbattery.com today. Looking to play in behind, and that's just a bit too close to Danny Vitiello. The option was Arturo Rodriguez high up the field.
And that was a really good try from the outside of the foot with the left foot. It's very deceptive. As a defender, you can't see that. It comes off the foot so quickly, that ball doesn't connect. But I like the idea. Sacramento Republic a little bit higher of a back line, trying to expose that space in behind could be a way to go.
Here's Chris Allen. And Josh Drack. .65% possession so far for Charleston. Just the one shot has come from it. Sacramento got their goal, and they're content to sit off just a bit now.
Battery fans, on your feet, make some noise, back the Battery attack.
And these are the moments where they're really going to have the ball movement to go from side to side, because you can just see how compact the shape of Sacramento Republic is, and how do you move them so then you can play forward. You've got to start horizontally going back and forth to shift them.
Here's Drack. Allen for Conway. Touched away. Allen recovers. Now Marcanic. Drack. Ahead for Marcanic, who tries to get end line. His cross was blocked, and the ball is put out of play. Here's Dos Santos. Charleston looking for something to break through this Sacramento defense. Runs through. Conway with his back to goal. Looking back in fields. Nearly fell for Arturo Rodriguez. Now Chris Allen. Allen a shooting chance and blocked. It was Ukebu who came up with the block. Conway again in a wide position towards goal. And out of play. Well, Charleston, they have been struggling to break through this Sacramento defense, but we saw this during warm-ups. You see the big brace over that left knee, but this has to be encouraging for Charleston Battery fans to see Aaron Malloy back on the field. As Ben Pierman said, one of the most influential players in the league. Yeah,
this is a good sign right here. He's a player that just dictates tempo so well. He understands how to play in little pockets in midfield, and it's a big loss that he's been out, and they've had to really kind of control possession by committee, which they've done, and it's a different look, but he's a player that can certainly change a game.
Him alongside Chris Allen in the middle, a great duo in the midfields. Two players that even played together a couple years ago with Memphis under Ben Pierman. And now rekindling that relationship here in Charleston.
And what they do is they keep possession so well that it allows the 4 players in front of them to interchange and be creative in their movement because they're just so steady in the midfield. They understand tempo really well. So that's a big part of what has made Charleston tick in the past.
That front 4 is what has gotten Charleston to this point. All those goals have been solid at each and every level. Played over the top. Allen turning it back and laying it off for Segbers. Allen gets it back. In a 1-2 game with Segbers. Chapman and Dos Santos. Arturo Rodriguez moves it out wide. Juan David Torres. The cross coming in, the heads go up, and Marcanic, his first attempt at goal tonight.
And this was so much better from the Battery because they get in that wide space and they make Jack Gurr defend. The movement of Drac forces him inside. That gives space to Torres right here for this ball. And the header just not timed well, but you can see just how good he can be in the air coming through from the back post. It's a good opportunity.
Sacramento looking to build out with 10 minutes to go until the break. Vitiello lofts it forward. Dos Santos up for the header. Sacramento get it back under their control. Even with all of that possession, some of the underlying numbers still pretty similar as this is turned over. Ukebu got himself in a tough spot, but Charleston couldn't keep it. Similar in terms of touches in the opposition box and final third entries as they're coming forward again here, and a big block by Adam Grinwis. Sacramento nearly a deja vu moment.
And you're just talking about Charleston Battery with all the possession they have, but it's got to be dangerous. That's what Sacramento Republic has done. They've been dangerous. This is 2 passes to get forward, and Sanchez again, the great block from Grinwis, and just decides to let this one go out for the corner kick. But that's how quickly it could have been 2-0, just out of nothing.
Talk about quick. I looked down for 2 seconds, and they're into the attack again. Corner kick now for Sacramento, touched into play. Here's Cicerone. Russell Cicerone goes back post, it's headed down. Ukebu tries to keep it alive. Put out of play, Sacramento will have a throw-in.
Well, and the goal that we've already seen in that last opportunity highlights the battle in the wide spaces, and Sacramento Republic is winning that battle right now. The outside backs getting forward rather than Charleston Battery outside backs getting into the attack and being able to dominate in the wide space.
Broken up. How quickly can Charleston go forward? They can't. And here's Jack Gurr. That attacking outside back duo that Sacramento has on the field tonight. Sanchez, the goal scorer. Gurr, though, has gotten forward plenty tonight. Torres trying to flick it infield. Conway battling, and it's played through the middle. Who's going to pick it up? It's Nick Marcanic, who tries to go for goal. The angle just wasn't there for Charleston. Drac for Chapman. Going to chip this forward. Heads go up, Marcanic goes to ground, cleared away. Smith keeps it alive, Segbers. Rolling it forward, Torres, flag stays down. Torres gets the cross away, Vitiello's there to snatch it down. And he'll look to distribute quickly. Long over the top, Grinwis diving in with his header. Brave goalkeeping there from Gwynwys, but he played it to perfection.
And you can tell that Sacramento Republic's trying to play forward as quickly as they can. That's what they've done in transition, whether it's from Vitiello or a player that's on the field. They've definitely tried to expose that space vertically. Now that the Battery are getting a little bit more possession with purpose, those runs from the 10s going in behind in the wide channels, there's some little opportunities coming from it. That's an area they can keep trying to attack.
Charleston, these last few minutes have started to find a few more moments going forward, finding some good pockets of space. Gonna roll through the middle, couldn't connect with Marcanic. Drack there to recover it for Charleston. Getting taken down, and a whistle, free kick coming for the Battery.
And Rodriguez does really well there to draw that foul, just protects it with his body as there's an aggressive challenge coming. And that's something that Charleston knows about Sacramento Republic. They're going to step hard in midfield. They're going to put a lot of pressure. And he just steps right in front there to try to shield it and turn to draw the foul.
Vitiello organizing the back line. Charleston have been pretty solid on set pieces this season. The reason why is because they have Torres and Rodriguez delivering these free kicks. It's Torres this time, curls it in, back post, it's headed away. Foot race for this loose ball that will be won by Sanchez. Defended by Dos Santos.
And Dos Santos steps really high there, but it's a little bit late. There's 3 players back for the Battery with nobody forward in those moments. That's where they can maybe take a little bit more risk. When you're down a goal, organize that a little bit better on set pieces to keep Sacramento Republic locked in.
Turned over, Cicerone. Space to run forward now for Sac Republic. Laid off for Jacker, who is a willing runner forward. Ukebu, teenager for Cicerone, who turns it over. Allen for Torres. It's been a big part of this first half for Charleston. And Torres cuts it back. Dos Santos. Charleston has shown their patience over the last few minutes as well.
I think it needs to be pointed out that Ross and Cicerone have done a really good job defensively right there going in on the tackle. What that does is it doesn't allow a 2-against-1 to be created against the wingbacks of Sac Republic because they're doing so much defending against the outside backs for Charleston. That's a big defensive role that helps them in their shape.
Phillips making a nuisance of himself and forcing Charleston to turn it all the way back. Anytime we talk to coaches about defending, they say, well, the back line's, of course, doing their job, but it's a full team effort.
Right.
It starts on the front line, just like the attack starts from the very back.
And Mark Briggs talked about wanting his wingbacks to be brave as well, get higher up the field, win the ball higher, and they've done a really good job of that in this first half, and I think that's really what's changed the game.
Panic was battling for it, and the throw-in will go Sacramento's way here. With 90 seconds to go in this first half. Chapman looking in fields. Rolled out wide, Marcanic laced that cross into the box. Dealt with by Sac Republic. Drac, chance to deliver again. And Cicerone couldn't keep it. Drac, good control in tight space. He lasers the cross in. Appeal for handball waved away. Allen. Now Segbers lays it off. Arturo Rodriguez. David Torres looking for space through the middle. Lofted up and calmly headed back for Danny Vitiello. 1 minute of stoppage time is brought to you by MUSC Health Sports Medicine.
As we just saw against Sacramento Republic's 5-4-1 defensively, it is so hard to break down with those little balls in between. It almost has to be picture perfect to be able to do it. But there are moments where Jack Gurr and Sanchez are a little bit higher up and they can find that space in the wide area. They're starting to do it a little bit more, Charleston, but the more that Sacramento Republic sits back, it just becomes more and more compact.
Grinwis takes this. We said that Charleston needed some points tonight and they needed North Carolina to drop some points tonight. I mean, Charleston might come back in this game. I don't think North Carolina is going to drop points. They're up 4-0 before the break against Oakland tonight. So the playoffs will have to wait a little bit longer for Charleston. A yellow card was just shown. It was away from the ball. Still waiting on official confirmation. We're hearing it could be, though, to Juan David Torres. Because it was away from the ball, probably for dissent. And Juan David Torres is officially into the book. It was Torres. And we have reached the break here from Mount Pleasant. Sacramento Republic, we mentioned, just one road loss all season long. And they are in the driver's seat going into the break.
They are. They've come out. They've gotten exactly what they needed, which is that goal, because they're already so stingy defensively. For Charleston, quicker ball movement, more runners going forward, just a little bit more vertical movement, I think, can really help them in the second half.
We have reached the break from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, and Patriots Point. Charleston, one of the best home teams in the league. Sacramento, one of the best road teams in the league. And right now it's Sacramento Republic who lead the Charleston Battery by 1-0 at the break. Stay with us.
Innovation means training tomorrow's leaders in the latest technologies, because we know the next idea to change the future of medicine may well come from them. At the Medical University of South Carolina, innovation is who we are.
Hola.
¿Alguna otra cerveza?
No, Michelob Ultra.
Ok, ahora vuelvo.
Every lottery ticket purchase keeps education in our state moving forward. Like in 2005, when lottery proceeds helped purchase new school buses that kept South Carolina students on the road to success. Because arriving safely to school every day is the first important step on their journeys to the careers and lives they've always dreamed of. When you play the lottery, you're helping fund the futures of students all over our state, which is why education is our middle name.
Innovation means developing novel therapies for patients today and taking the first steps toward life-changing discoveries decades in the future. At the Medical University of South Carolina, innovation is who we are.
When you know that you're finally home, and that long stretch of road falls behind that line. Won't stop, don't stop, believe, and tell me what you want, what you see.
the break from Patriots Point in Charleston, 1-0 to Sacramento Republic. They've come all the way east and they have a lead going into the break. It's still 45 minutes to keep a good attack in Charleston at bay. Well, in the news recently has been Nick Marcanic. He, of course, is moving to Castellón at the end of the season in the Spanish Second Division. We were talking with Ben Kierman this week, and he said our ability to sell players on has been a huge thing for this club. And you look at the list going back to 2020, and most recently, they've been selling some players to higher levels in other teams.
And that's a point of pride for a club like the Charleston Battery. Like, they create this atmosphere where these players are being super successful. They're able to move to other places as well, and they're doing it consistently over time.
Dante Polvara, he came on loan to Charleston. When he went back to Aberdeen, he impressed so much that he was signed to a long extension there in Scotland. And it just goes to show you what they are doing here in Charleston. Of course, Fidel Barajas went to Real Salt Lake and now has already moved on to Chivas in Liga MX. We have been talking about playoff clinching, and we are getting ever so close to it. If the playoffs started today, this is what it would look like. Charleston would be in that 2 seed. Sacramento would also be in that 2 seed. That'd be a tasty matchup with Phoenix as well.
It really would be, and it's so interesting because there's a couple games in hands for certain teams, so it could change a little bit. Of course, it will change at least in the next few spots after the top 2 or 3, but it's an exciting time in the USL Championship.
It is almost bracket season in the USL Championship. The Charleston Battery have teamed up with the American Cancer Society for the Men Wear Pink campaign, a breast cancer awareness initiative. We have seen that kit on Adam Grinwis tonight. We are at the break from Patriots Point, 1-0 to Sacramento Republic. Stay with us.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
This is the beginning. This is a first practice, a first video session, a first pregame talk. This is a first ticket, a first scarf raise, a first kickoff. This is a tapestry of clubs and players and communities inspired by those who blazed the trail for women's sports, ready to inspire the next generation. We are the USL Super League. We're part of a movement, and this is our moment.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Beautifully done, Pino! My goodness! 2-0 for Birmingham. Worth takes it. Oh, and it's in! Nate Worth with a moment of brilliance.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Representing 21 countries on international duty this week. And then Las Vegas, they have been one of the stories of the USL Championship this year. A big come-from-behind victory against Orange County last time out has Vegas in a great spot to make the playoffs for the first time in their club history. Our out-of-town scores presented by Charleston International Airport with over 5 million passengers annually. Your low country adventure begins at CHS. Yesterday, 3 1-0 wins for 3 home teams. Louisville, New Mexico, and Phoenix get on the win column, and then tonight, 3 games in action. Currently, North Carolina, that big 4-0 lead over Oakland, is right now denying Charleston of a potential playoff clinching moment tonight, while Pittsburgh leads Rhode Island by 2-0 as well. Still more games to come tonight. 3 of them, Colorado Springs and the Rowdies, an intriguing fixture. Detroit City on the road at the bottom of the Western Conference team, El Paso, will close out the night from Monterey Bay as they play host to San Antonio. We are at the break from Patriots Point. A big second half on the way. Charleston looking for a come-from-behind victory. It's 1-0 to Sacramento, and we'll have the second half next.
When we took this job, we knew that the future was the EX90.
A lot of people are excited about it.
We're really happy to see the EX90 on the line.
I'm Tamara Thompson. And Rachel Gillum.
My name is Eric Brown.
And the Volvo EX90 was made by us.
L is for the way you look. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love. Is all that I can give to you.
Return to the field. Score the winning shot. Beat your personal record. Team up with MUSC Health Sports Medicine for all your sports-related injury care and rehabilitation. MUSC Health is the official sports medicine provider for your favorite local teams. From semi-pro athletes to weekend warriors, our sports medicine team provides state-of-the-art injury prevention, treatment, surgery, and rehabilitation for athletes of all ages. Go where the pros go. Schedule an appointment today.
Every lottery ticket purchase keeps education in our state moving forward. Like in 2005, when lottery proceeds helped purchase new school buses that kept South Carolina students on the road to success. Because arriving safely to school every day is the first important step on their journeys to the careers and lives they've always dreamed of. When you play the lottery, you're helping fund the futures of students all over our state, which is why education is our middle name.
When we took this job, we knew that the future was the EX90.
A lot of people are excited about it.
We're really happy to see the EX90 on the line.
I'm Tamara Thompson. And Rachel Gillum.
My name is Eric Brown.
And the Volvo EX90 was made by us.
Getting ready for the second half from Patriots Point in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. 1-0 in favor of Sacramento Republic. Time to look back at the first half with our halftime highlights, and we got it going from the get-go. In Sacramento, they came out on the front foot, but it's always hard to keep Charleston off the board. They did that, though, through 45 minutes.
They did, and Charleston did start with a lot of possession. Torres really had one of the best opportunities of the game early, but was pushing that one wide. But then in the 18th minute, it would change everything. That great ball from Luis Felipe forward, then Phillips finds Sanchez in the wide space with a great strike, putting it on goal. It took 2 passes to go through the entire Charleston battery, midfield and back line. And what a great finish. Lots of power, keeping it low, lots of smiles from Sacramento Republic on the road. And as the half went on, Charleston would continue to get some more opportunities. Nothing too much to test the keeper, but going in right there was Marcanic. Torres trying to find him on the back post in the head. Again, just 2 minutes later, though, it would be Sanchez again, but it's Grinwis that comes up with a huge save to make sure that they don't double their lead.
Halftime stats are brought to you by Heineken, and no shots on target for Charleston. That's to be a big point for Ben Pierman at halftime.
It has to be. When you have 68% possession, you want to try to have a lot of those turn into opportunities and opportunities on frame. You've got to test Vitiello, only generating 1 corner as well. Where on the flip side, Sacramento Republic, although they didn't have a lot of possession, when they did, it had a purpose. They were able to get their goal.
getting set for the second 45 minutes. A big second half on the way for both Charleston and Sacramento as the players are coming back out onto the field for this second half. Big opportunity for Charleston to try to come from behind. Chance to take a look at the Eastern Conference standings. Louisville's already clinched their spot. Miami has already been eliminated from playoff contention. Pittsburgh, though, in line potentially for 3 points tonight. They're putting more pressure on Loudoun, but Charleston, as Ben Pierman said this week, said might be out of it in terms of the top spot in the Eastern Conference, but you still have to treat each and every game like a playoff game. He said tonight feels like a first-round playoff game.
You really do, because even if that might be the case, you're thinking about form, you're thinking about the confidence of each of your players, the units, how do they play together. You want to be able to stay ahead of these teams, not only in the standings like we see here, but in the way you're playing and the style of play that you're representing on the field.
And in the Western Conference right now, Sac Republic, they have some work to do to get back in this against New Mexico. They do have their 2 games at hand. They also do play New Mexico in a few weeks at home.
Well, and that can give them a little bit less separation from the top. And you can see in the Western Conference, even around the playoff line, it's so incredibly close, a little uneven in games. So you really just don't know how those things are going to shake out as you go into these final few games.
Now a big run into the playoffs upcoming in the USL Championship in both the East and the West. This is why this time of year is so much fun, and we get games like this. There's the whistle, and we are underway the second 45 minutes. Thanks so much for being with us tonight with Casey White. I'm Josh Eastern. Charleston looking for a comeback effort on their home field. They've only lost once when playing on their home field this year. And Charleston also has a record of 1-1-1 when trailing at halftime in the USL Championship this season. It's also pretty impressive. They've only been trailing at halftime 3 times this entire season. While Sacramento Republic unbeaten their last 6 when leading at halftime. That goes back to last year in the playoffs against Phoenix Rising, where they ended up losing 2-1. Sorry to bring that up for Sacramento Republic fans.
Well, and I think for the Charleston Battery, with what we saw in the first half, you wouldn't think maybe a comeback's going to be on the horizon, but you never know how they're going to build into this half. You also have a player like Marcanic, so you can never count a team out that has a proven goal scorer, because they can really do something out of not a lot of possession or in the final third, or being able to generate opportunities.
Free kick will go Charleston's way now. Very interesting to see when Ben Pierman goes to his bench if the score remains as it is. Players like Emilio Acasa, MD Myers, Prince Sadie, all players who can come on and influence Robbie Crawford. Fresh legs in the middle. So good depth for both teams available tonight as Phillips nearly picked off that back pass. Last week it was, or 2 weeks ago rather, it was Mark Briggs really praising the depth on the bench, saying it really shows the quality we have coming off the bench with Russell Cicerone coming off the bench and scoring the game-winning penalty against San Antonio. So it shows you it's not just about the starting 11, it's about the 18. When you have that mindset, you understand your importance, you have an opportunity to be impactful. And with players such as Trevor Ammon on the bench, 9 goals this year. Rafael Joregi, a young player. Harvey Neville, who just came in on loan from Portland. They now have a little bit more depth on the bench.
Well, and that's what's so difficult about coaching. I mean, there's a lot of things that are difficult about coaching, but it's so nuanced how you bring in players, because sometimes it's best to keep players out there because they have a feel for the game. Maybe they can work through some things. When do you bring that spark on, though? When do you really see a change? And that can be really difficult to navigate. And bringing someone in like Cicerone, who comes in and scores a penalty, things like that, those are big-time decisions from coaches and can really influence here. And that may happen tonight.
It's not just bringing in players throughout a game, it's really throughout a season and managing the team. If things are working, do you want to switch it up, or do you want to try to keep players fresh? There's so many things to think about, and that's why they get paid to do it, and that's why we're watching them do it. Looking to play this over the top. Charleston right now just missing a little bit in that attacking area of the field. Marcanic has had a couple of chances looking at goal, but a few of his shots have been blocked. Not a ton of time on the ball for Marcanic so far tonight. Phillips trying to flick it forward. Cicerone sends it long down the line, and Phillips making the long run down the line. He'll get there. He cuts it infield. He has runners with him, but Allen stepped in to break it up. It was a heavy first touch. Smith trying to clean up the damage. And Charleston do get this away.
I think we can expect to see that more from Sac Republic, because Charleston's going to go forward quick.
And here they come with Allen. Marcanic's through the middle, trying to find Nick Marcanic. It's in! Marcanic scores! Marcanic ties the single season record. 25 goals, 1-1.
And you can just see the excitement on his face, tying up the game. Such an important goal against a tough, stingy Sacramento Republic defending team. But this is a great counterattacking chance. Chris Allen goes right through, takes that little look. It's bent in perfectly, and it looks like it's almost too far. But Marcanic gets his hips around it. It's a well-weighted ball. There's nothing that the defender can do in this moment because it's right in behind, and it's a great finish to the back post. Great job keeping it low from the front runner.
Came into tonight with 5 goals in his last 5 games, and now Nick Marcanic writing himself in the history books. His 25th regular season goal ties Cameron Lancaster and Haji Berry for the single season record in the USL Championship. Who says he's not going to go on and break it again tonight? What a season it has been for Nick Marcanic. And we talked to Ben Pierman about Marcanic this week, saying there's been so much hype around Marcanic, the sale, talked about the record. He says he's just carrying on. He's going one game at a time. All that noise is outside, and he's just able to keep on scoring goals. That's one of the best compliments a coach can have.
It absolutely is, and he just goes about his business. His job is to score goals, but the best front runners see it as a privilege to do that, not a pressure, and that's something that he does extremely well. And we were just talking about it. It was against the run of play. Maybe you just need one moment because they haven't been able to have a lot of opportunities forward. I believe that's the first shot on frame, and it's a goal, but when you have someone like Marcanic, they can step up in one moment when they really need it, and he did it.
A big moment for Charleston, and now maybe more. Marcanic deflecting around, and too much there from Marcanic. Now they can start to smell some blood in the water.
Well, and that goal came against the run of play. Charleston Battery has had so much possession that was Sacramento Republic. We thought that would go the other way on a counterattack. For that goal, it was the complete opposite of it. Sacramento Republic was up forward. Chris Allen, as a holding mid, made a run behind the back line. That's something you don't see every day.
Well, we saw Allen clean something up on the other end, and then he was the one that had the assist on the goal for Chris Allen, his 4th assist on the season. For Sacramento, they had posted 2 straight clean sheets. That streak is now over. Over the top. Something on Arturo Rodriguez trying to cut it back. Marcanic was there. Could have been the moment. You thought maybe Arturo Rodriguez could just take it himself.
It looked like he could have taken it himself or passed it maybe 1 second earlier. There was a little bit of hesitation right here, and then he goes again. And I think that kind of threw off the timing of the run. That's got to probably be with the left foot there. It's just so difficult because it's played across his body instead of on the right side of his body. But man, that's a great opportunity for Marcanic.
We always see Marcanic cutting it on that left foot. You thought maybe it would have teed up nicely for him, but not meant to be in that situation.
sometimes with that moment, it's just about getting your feet right, and it's so quick, and it's just, you can be just like a half step off to be able to do that, and it can be very difficult to get it on the foot you want it to.
Something tells me we've not seen the last of Nick Marcanic tonight. Sacramento hoping that they can keep him quiet because not a lot of teams have been able to do that this year.
Well, there's been so much focus on him even in this game. He wasn't getting a lot of opportunities to play in possession, but you just want a player like him around the goal because that's what he can produce all the time, even when he's not involved in the run of play very often.
Marcanic, a couple games ago, scored a hat trick against Orange County. Joined his teammate, MD Myers, after he scored a hat trick. Marcanic has 2 hat tricks in 2024. Sacramento Republic trying to answer back.
And I would expect it to be a much more open game now. You can see that it's changed the complexion of everything, getting the equalizer.
Broken up, Marcanic looking to go quick through the middle. Rodriguez. Well, we were talking at halftime saying probably Sacramento's just going to sit back and look to counter, but now, to your point, they can't quite do that.
They can't, and when they got that first goal, it really played into their hands because they do have such a disciplined shape and compact shape defensively, but now they have to come out and play. They're not a team that's going to try to play for a tie, and especially with their road form that they have that we talked about earlier.
6 wins, 1 loss, 4 draws on the road for Sacramento Republic this season. Sanchez back for Vitiello. Vitiello's distribution off the mark. Ukebu does very well. 17-year-old has been kind of thrust into a starting role, earning his 4th start tonight. Shane Wheat out with an injury. And it has been Ukebu who stepped in the last few weeks, made his debut back on August 3rd. Chested down. Ross looking for options. Here's Ukebu.
And it kind of looks like a flip from the first half. This is what we saw a lot from Charleston in the first half, was the possession piece, and now it's kind of changing where Sacramento Republic's having it a little bit more and Charleston's chasing to defend.
Cicerone, now Luis Felipe. Sanchez trying to turn the corner. Segbers goes in. Strong challenge. It's out for a corner kick. It's a Pepper Law Firm corner kick on the way for Sacramento Republic as they look to get their noses back out in front. 3rd corner kick of the game. Ready for the delivery. Portillo sends it towards the top of the area, lining up the shot. It's over the bar. That all came to be very, very well. But Jack Gert could not keep it on frame.
And a goal like that would have been absolutely stunning, the way that that came across and floated in. I mean, it was a perfect ball, and it looked like Charleston was going to be able to clear, but they just weren't quite able to do it.
A substitution coming for Charleston, one we probably expected to come at some point. Jackson Conway getting the start tonight. He goes about 57 minutes, and now it's MD Myers who enters the game for Charleston. We talked about that duo record between Marcanic and Myers, 37, or now 38 combined goal contributions this year. Marcanic and Myers now 2 away from setting a new record for an attacking partnership in the USL Championship. Rodriguez looking quick and behind. Dealt with centrally. Desmond gets it away as far as Segbers. Segbers cuts it back. Torres taken off the ball. Chapman, Torres, chip forward, Segbers! Blocked! Vitiello cleans it up. This game really coming to life in this second half.
Well, they're just playing on the front foot a little bit more. Charleston Battery is winning second balls, winning third balls, getting regains quickly, and it's just allowing them to stay in the attack more often.
Here comes Sacramento. Ross has to turn it back. Some time on the ball here for Sacramento. Luis Felipe. Now Portillo, he'll turn it back. Portillo looking upfield. Gonna break the lines. Cicerone for Sanchez. Desmond. And blocked down. Charleston looking to go quickly with Marcanic. It's deflected. MD Myers coming over to get a touch to it. He'll keep it in play. Charleston able to keep it with Segbers. Just momentarily. Cicerone. Good persistence, but a foul. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Now past the hour mark. This game has very much changed from the first half. Charleston getting the equalizer just minutes out of halftime. And now it is all to play for between teams that occupy the second spot in their respective conferences.
Well, and the only thing that really changed was just a higher positioning from the outside backs. It allows them to get forward a little more, and then just taking advantage of a defensive lapse from Sacramento Republic in transition, able to do that. And that was what really is the difference in the half. But we're seeing Segbers get a little higher. Josh Drack is having a higher positioning, even though they haven't gotten it on the left side very often. And that just put Sacramento Republic under pressure, which is what they did to Charleston in the first half.
We've seen Drack as this runs out of play. We've seen Drack in an attacking role in the past with LA Galaxy 2. In 2021, he had 9 assists to go along with 2 goals for Los Dos. Back for Vitiello. Long over the top. Dos Santos got his head to it. Allen being chased. The Battery have a brand new look on and off the field this year thanks to Hummel, the club's official jersey provider. Check out the full line of new Battery gear, including the custom 2024 kits by visiting shop.charlestonbattery.com. And a yellow card given to Lee Desmond. Center back now has his name taken.
And just taking a look as they start to play out, it's Smith who plays this forward, and this is where the yellow card comes from. He's able to turn right there. He wants to slow Marcanic down, just an obvious yellow just to slow down the play.
So that's how you slow him down.
That's the only way, apparently.
Throw-in coming now for Charleston. And Alyssa Nichols going to step in here. Substitution preparing. Looks like Trevor Ammon is about to come in.
This is better in possession from Charleston. What you're starting to see is Chris Allen rotates up a lot as one of the 10s, and usually it starts from that position as we see a foul called in the wide area, but that really unsettles the back line of Sac Republic.
You see just how influential this midfield is for Charleston, going back to what we were talking about in the first half with Aaron Malloy partnering with Chris Allen. And it was even pointed out by Mark Briggs, saying the rotation of their midfielders is very good. And that's a difficulty for oppositions to keep in check. It was Allen that set up the goal to Marcanic. And more chances have come for Charleston in the second half, but they turn it over here. Cicerone now played down the line, looking for Kieran Phillips. Dos Santos has a word for Phillips as he gets back to his feet.
That's a great tackle from Dos Santos in that area because there's a lot of space for them to take advantage.
Subs coming now for Sacramento Republic. The first two of the game for Mark Briggs. Trevor Ammon and Sebastian Herrera enter. Russell Cicerone and Kieran Phillips are replaced. So like-for-like changes on that front line, and part of that striker partnership that Mark Briggs has talked about this year.
A lot of options in the attacking front for Sacramento Republic, and you can see the look of disappointment there, just giving up the goal in the second half. But there's been a lot of defensive work from the front runners as well, so that's something that they're going to have to really try to figure out, and because Charleston has figured out how to expose the space on the side of those wingers.
Hammond comes in with 9 goals this year, Herrera with 1, and a yellow card will go to Sacramento Republic here, Justin Portillo.
When you talk about the movement just a few minutes ago of the midfield, Chris Allen getting forward, that time it's Rodriguez. That rotation of getting the 10s forward into the wide space is really causing problems there. It's a run here. It's good interchange, trying to take on. Clearly was going to be able to get in behind Portillo and just drag down.
Here's Chris Allen trying to chip it forward. Remember, this is the second game for Justin Portillo against Charleston this year. As Grinwis comes way off his line, and now he's way out of his goal, but that is no danger in the end for Charleston.
And that's twice that he's had to do that, or chosen to do that, whatever it may be, right?
It's a choice.
It is a little bit of a choice involved there. But I do like that he's controlling the space behind the back line, because when you are pressing like Charleston is a little bit more, you're going to expose that. Your goalkeeper has to minimize the space and the damage.
Grinwis, a very experienced goalkeeper. His first season with Charleston, last 3 years with Orlando. He played with Orlando City B as well. Only with Rochester, St. Louis, Real Monarchs, and I mentioned the 4 games he played with Sacramento back in 2020. Floated through the middle. Broken up by Luis Felipe, and then one right back. Trying to play in behind. Marcanic couldn't catch up to it. Now it's Chapman looking to release MD Myers. Myers tried to cut it back, and Vitiello. Did that go out of play? It did. He tried to prevent the corner, and I think he's kind of glad it went out of play because Myers was right there.
That was a tight one for sure, but I just love that we're seeing more players vertically run from Charleston. It happened with some long balls in the first half, but there weren't multiple runners going forward. When you've got multiple runners running at pace like they are, this is what happens. You generate corner kicks, you generate set pieces and attacking chances.
Another Pepper Law Firm corner kick. Both teams now with 7 shots and 2 on target. The expected goals, though, for Charleston is well higher, 1.23 compared to 0.7 for Sacramento. Juan David Torres set to deliver. Heads go up. It's flicked out of play. They'll do it again from the other side.
And that's a dangerous in-swinging ball on that. I would do the same exact thing again because you just never know what's going to happen in that space. It makes the goalkeeper uncomfortable if they're not ready to come out for it.
It's Arturo Rodriguez striding over there, and he will have the in-swinger at that right foot. It's another Pepper Law Firm corner kick for Charleston.
And it's making noise for another Pepper Law Firm corner kick for your Charleston Battery.
Rodriguez touches it into play. He'll get it right back towards the top of the area. Chris Allen, chance to settle. He'll go for goal. And a brave header to get that out of harm's way by Jared Timmer.
And at first, I didn't really like the choice to go short because it's such a dangerous service. But if Chris Allen had a better first touch on this prep ball, there could have been a quicker strike. Maybe they wouldn't have been able to cover as well, but just gets it right over the top was Timmer.
Now it's another Pepper Law Firm corner kick from the near side again. Torres, the in-swinger at the near post, looking for that flick. It's another corner kick. A fourth successive Pepper Law Firm corner kick.
Well, they're making up for the lack of corner kicks in the first half, especially in these last few minutes. A lot of opportunities. And if you're Sacramento Republic, you got to stay locked in right here because these are some very dangerous opportunities.
20 minutes to go. Touched into play. The return ball for Torres. Torres, he wanted to go for goal himself. They set up a similar play on the other side, but this time Torres drags the shot wide.
And I really don't know why Sacramento Republic's not sending two players to defend the 2v1 because they're giving these opportunities. If that's on frame, that's incredibly dangerous.
Tune in to CBS Sports Network in September for a USL Championship Eastern Conference clash. Strong playoff contender Tampa Bay Rowdies travel north to face a Birmingham Legion team battling to stay above the playoff line. It's this Wednesday, September 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Building forward again. Maybe something on here for Charleston. Marcanics in plenty of space. And it was just cut off. Segbers. Now Arturo Rodriguez. Played through for Chapman, who is trying to chip it towards goal, and Vitiello claims it. Almost complete opposite halves for either team. In the first half, 3 shots, no on target for Charleston, 6 and 2 on target for Sacramento. The second half, it's exactly flipped. 5 and 2 on target for Charleston and 2 shots total for Sacramento. Nothing has found the frame of goal.
Yeah, it really is a tale of two halves. Both teams are really just trying to adapt to the other team, and there's just moments of one of them having the upper hand. And Charleston has really come out in the second half and just played earlier.
Nick Ross will see himself into the book. Challenge put in on MD Myers after 2 Charleston players collided behind the play.
Right here, just a lot going on in the middle third, and it's Yeah, Timmer that steps in there. Then it's Ross coming across. Really hard tackle on the right ankle of MD Myers. And also you got to think about not just a hard challenge, but where Myers could have gone with that. It looked like they were really out of their defensive shape, Sacramento Republic.
Cross coming in. Charleston trying to win the second ball. Chapman was flying through, nothing doing. Now Sacramento a chance to turn this upfield. Ammon was slowing his run to keep himself onside. Trevor Ammon puts it on target and taken by Grinwis. Trevor Ammon, a really good story. Went to D2 college, Midwestern State in Texas. Played the last 2 years with Northern Colorado Hailstorm in USL League One. Last year won the Golden Boot, won the Player of the Year, scored 23 goals in USL League One, and then shortly after the season, Sacramento didn't waste long. He signed up with Sacramento for this year.
Well, Midwestern State's where both of my parents actually went.
No
they were both athletes
way.
there. My dad was a soccer player, my mom was a basketball player. So when I saw that, I was excited as well.
Small world.
I know.
That is incredible. Here's Torres. Looking through the middle, touched away. MD Myers is battling with Ukebu, who's really holding his ground there in the middle. Subs readying for both sides. It's a Sacramento debut coming for Harvey Neville. Came in on loan yesterday from Portland. And now he will enter this game with 15 minutes to go. So will Emilio Icaza for Charleston. And he comes on for Arturo Rodriguez. Justin Portillo, the player being replaced for Sacramento.
And I think Rodriguez has really gotten into the game more in this second half, but I do like this sub of Icaza coming in. He's very mobile. He likes to get in and out of spaces very quick and just super industrious in midfield. It fits exactly the way that Charleston's playing right now. And normally he is in the starting lineup a lot, so this is a great player to bring in this moment.
Harvey Neville on loan from Portland as the flag is up for offside. Son of Phil Neville, the coach at the Timbers currently. Played the last 3 years with Inter Miami, and they're set up in South Florida. Before that was with the Manchester United Academy, was Neville. Strong lineage to United. Tiello sends it away into the final quarter of an hour. This game very much still in the balance. And here comes Charleston again with Nick Marcanic. Already tied the goal scoring record tonight. Marcanic moves it out wide, settled. The shot took a big deflection and out for a corner kick.
I was hoping we were going to see a volley off that ball because that was just beautiful and laid up there. It would have been a tough one to connect with, but a really good opportunity. You can just see so much attention going to Marcanic, as it should be in this wide area. Decides to get it back on that left foot, just sends one floating up, and it's Juan David Torres coming through, decides to take it down and earns the corner kick.
Chibi Ukebu is still down. He's being stretched out by a good teammate Lee Desmond. 17-year-old who signed his pro contract back in November, joined the Sacramento Academy back in 2021. A stoppage here, and we can take a look at some of these chances in the second half.
Yeah, and it's been really end-to-end. This one came off of the corner kick, and it was a great volley, just not able to get it on frame. In the second half, there's been a lot more open spaces to take advantage of for both teams, and this was one of the better looks for this potential second goal, with Segbers being able to get in, but Vitiello recovers.
Kebu can stay on the field because the trainer didn't come on, and now Emilio Icaza rolls it into play. Icaza trying to get it back. He goes for the low strike, and Vitiello makes the save. Fourth shot on target tonight for Charleston.
And Sac Republic continues to only send one defensively on the short corner. One does pop out, but it's a little bit late in recognition right here as Icaza is going to strike it, stepping out, just not able to put a lot of pressure, and it's a good opportunity.
Herrera lifting it into the middle, bobbled momentarily. Now Lee Desmond. Sanchez crunched down by Chapman. And a yellow card will go to Jay Chapman.
And just tough timing on this tackle. He's going in, he's committed really hard, but a great touch from Sanchez to get around and earns the foul.
Desmond playing it forward. There's Sanchez, who has the lone goal tonight for Sacramento. Desmond. Ukebu looking in behind for Jack Gurr. All skipping on this surface. It stays in play. Dos Santos with the clearing header. Torres. Looking infield for Chapman. Now Chris Allen. Charleston looking for a way out. Line of confrontation still high up the field for Sacramento. So that was deflected out of play and off the head of Jack Gurr. Because Alyssa Nichols stopped the play, Gurr will have to come off and receive treatment for a head injury. It's part of the protocol. Gurr is back on the field now for Sacramento as we enter the final 10 minutes. And floated forward. All Timmer could do was put it out for a throw-in. That advances everybody forward for Charleston. Allen, Ikaza. Organic asking for it. Here's Segbers, throw-in for Charleston. Quickly put back in play. Juan David Torres. Cut back, Jay Chapman. His cross lifted back post. It was too tall and out of play. If you can't watch the match, turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app. Build this as one of the best home teams versus one of the best road teams. And it is living up to that so far. This has been a tightly contested match. Sacramento had their chances in the first half. Charleston getting a little bit more of it here in the second.
When you almost feel like it could just be like a transitional moment that might be the separator if there is going to be one in these final 8 minutes and change, because there's times where both teams are really trying to go forward. You have to wonder, as the road team, the Sacramento Republic play a little more conservative and go for at least a point, where Charleston might push. You just don't know, but with the feel of this game, it looks like Sacramento Republic's not going to settle for that.
If there is a winner tonight, it will be an impressive win, because the opposition is very good. It's a high-quality match in the USL Championship. Charleston has never beaten Sacramento. This is just the 4th all-time meeting between the two clubs. Over through the middle, a commanding header by Graham Smith. But Ross collects again for Sac Republic. Cross fired towards goal, and Grinwis is able to squeeze it.
That was much better pressing from Sacramento Republic. We saw that in the first 20 minutes of the game a lot. We haven't really seen it, but a lot of that has to do with Charleston being a little higher up the field when they possess.
Subs on the way. Prince Sadie will enter this game, and so will Robbie Crawford. Final substitution window used tonight. Josh Drack coming off the field. And so is Jay Chapman. Final substitution window. Also will be Blake Willie entering, along with Connor Donovan for Sacramento Republic. And Chibi Ukebu will exit. So will Alder Sanchez, tonight's goal scorer. It was also the final substitution window, and Mark Briggs has used all 5 subs tonight. Here's Akaza with 5 minutes to go. Both teams pressing to try to find a winner tonight. Willie, another 17-year-old coming into this game. Signed his pro contract a couple of years ago, but made his pro debut back in March. Here he is on the ball. The back heel to spring Sacramento forward with Luis Felipe.
And you can see moments where in transition, they might be able to expose space behind, but it goes away very quickly. So they've got to play that ball within 2 or 3 touches to expose it in transition.
Here's Donovan. Cycled out wide. Options teeing up in the middle. Long cross coming in. Ammon got his head to it. It's more of a flicked header than anything, just trying to get something on it. Charleston want to go quickly as they put it back in play. In behind for the run of M.D. Myers, player who came off the bench tonight for Charleston. Marcanic. Play on, says the referee. Here's Nick Marcanic. Trying to chip it towards goal, pushed into a dangerous area. Here's Akaza. Akaza scores! Emilio Akaza for the Charleston Battery, and they lead 2-1.
I'm not exactly sure how Emilio Akaza found the gap that he found in that, but such great play. It goes from that where they thought the foul was going to be called. It wasn't called. They continue to play on. It's Marcanic in the wide space. This is a good save from Vitiello, but there's nobody there. Right here, I thought maybe one chance with the opportunity. Sneaks it past so many players, and Vitiello might have not been able to see that as it came through, but it's just a very good play shot from the midfielder.
2 unanswered goals for the Charleston Battery. That dazzling play is brought to you by Diamonds Direct. Somehow Akaza maybe took a slight deflection on the way through, but Charleston will absolutely take it.
They wouldn't even let him celebrate there. They're like, you're doing it right here. There's so much excitement from that goal.
Akaza with his 4th goal in the year, but his first since May 15th. He scored a winner against Birmingham. May have just scored a winner against Sacramento.
And that was the one time, really, in the whole game, we haven't seen the 2 6s of Sacramento Republic be right in front for those clearances.
Cross coming in. Another failed clearance, and Ammon puts the shot just wide. Nearly an immediate response.
And just as I'm saying that, the same exact thing is happening. When that ball is cleared, you want your two holding mids to be in that space to clean up second balls, and he almost makes them pay.
Jack Gurr has picked up a yellow card as well. I think it was after the goal. Coming together there in the middle. The throw-in will go Sacramento's way. Charleston has scored 18 goals in the last 15 minutes in the second half. That is more than any other team in the USL Championship this year. They have grinded out results so far this season. They started this season so well. And they have continued that on through at least now mid-September. Ammon moves it all the way down the line. Long run for Jack Gurr, and he won't get there.
Well, it's a sign of a really good team when they can not really have much in the first half and be able to come back, make changes, and be able to execute when needed.
We have seen Charleston now score, I'm not going to do it tonight, but they have scored 5 goals in the second half twice this year. It just shows you that when they don't have their best in the first half, they can still bring it out in the second half and find results that way. We have entered 6 minutes of MUSC Health Sports Medicine stoppage time. Play in MD Myers. Throw-in coming for Sacramento. They're going to go all the way upfield here. Stoppage, and it looks like a yellow card is going to be shown. That's to Graham Smith. So Smith into the book. To be honest, I'm not sure what that was for.
I can't help you out there.
Allen over the top. Hearing that yellow card was now for dissent. And cut this infield. Neville lofts it forward. Out of play, a throw-in for Sacramento. They have just under 4 minutes to find an equalizer. Otherwise, it will be their second road loss of the season. And those 2 losses will have been to the top 2 teams in the East.
And I like what Charleston's doing to try to see out this win. They're pressing a little bit higher. When they get into their mid-block, then they're being a bit more patient. But I think it's really come down to decision-making in this second half that Charleston's really improved on. Not so much what Sacramento Republic hasn't done, but they're choosing moments to press Charleston. They're choosing moments to sit. They're choosing moments to go forward. It's just been a really good tactical approach.
Marcanic flicks it forward. A chance to really put this away. Juan David Torres wide. Wrong side of the post, and Sacramento stays in this game. That was a chance to really seal it. Stays in play. Fancy footwork from Marcanic. Here's Allen. Charleston trying to play keep away at the moment. On David Torres.
This is what can be hard here as well, because Sacramento Republic's used to the wingbacks being a little further back defensively, and it can be hard to make that transition for Neville and Gurr right away.
Marcanic tries to take it to the corner. It's put out of play, and it was last off Marcanic, throwing to Sacramento Republic. David Torres has options with him, trying to keep it himself, and wins a throw-in. Deep into the corner. Charleston trying to keep this alive. And it will go Charleston's way. A corner kick here, a Pepper Law Firm corner kick. They'll touch it into play, they'll look to keep it there. Now it comes in fields. Hammond, another throw into Charleston, and Sacramento may not even get one last chance in this game.
It doesn't seem like it. It's because Charleston's being really smart in the way they're playing. Like they're making the right decisions of when to play forward, when to jump over balls when they're being clear, just let it go out, and it just eats up time.
Charleston have attempted now 588 passes. It's their highest total in a match this season in the USL Championship. Chested down by Herrera. The switch of play. Neville, can he keep it in? He can, but is there enough time? Neville trying to get a ball here, and a yellow card has been shown to somebody on the Charleston bench, and somebody else on the Charleston bench for throwing the ball away. We saw that in the NWSL this year with Sophia Smith.
Yes.
And she got herself in a little bit of trouble.
She did.
And that is full time. 2 unanswered goals for the Charleston Battery. Their 11th win at home, and the full 3 points against Sacramento Republic.
And that is not just a win. It's a win that really can propel you through the latter part of the season. This is already a team that's performing so well, but they come from behind, get 2 unanswered goals to take the lead. Ikaza does so well to get that goal that gets the win for them tonight, but this is huge for this group.
Emilio Ikaza is our Heineken man of the match. He came on in the 76th minute. He scored 12 minutes later. Emilio Ikaza, our Heineken man of the match, and this was the game-winning goal for the Battery tonight.
And it was Marcanic, plays this across, saved by Vitiello. Ikaza's trailing the play, gets in here, puts it on the left foot, and just sneaks it by. There's not a lot of pace on it, just really accurate, gets a bit of a half yard of opportunity, decides to take the half chance, and gets it on frame.
Slight deflection on it, but Ikaza will take it, and so will Charleston, as they get the full 3 points. We will come back and wrap things up after this, but it is full time from Patriots Point. The Charleston Battery, 2-1 winners in a clash of 2 big-time clubs. Final score brought to you by Wicked Weed. It reads Charleston 2 and Sacramento 1.
Return to the field. Score the winning shot. Beat your personal record. Team up with MUSC Health Sports Medicine for for all your sports-related injury care and rehabilitation. MUSC Health is the official sports medicine provider for your favorite local teams. From semi-pro athletes to weekend warriors, our sports medicine team provides state-of-the-art injury prevention, treatment, surgery, and rehabilitation for athletes of all ages. Go where the pros go. Schedule an appointment today.
When you know that you're finally home, and that long stretch of road falls behind that line. Won't stop, don't stop, believe and tell me what you want, what you want, I want you to see it. 'Cause right here, right now, you can be anybody.
Hola.
¿Alguna otra cerveza?
No, Michelob Ultra.
Ok, ahora vuelvo.
Superior.
Our full-time score is brought to you by Wicked Weed, and it reads Charleston 2, Sacramento Republic 1. Charleston's first ever win against Sacramento. Our full-time highlights are brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Charleston and Sacramento, East versus West, the number 2 team in each conference. And this was how the scoring got started in the first half.
It started off quick for Sacramento Republic. It was Sanchez with the left-footed strike, the recipient of a great ball from Phillips. Puts it past Grinwith early on in that first half, and that would make it 1-0. A lot of possession to Charleston, but it was Sacramento Republic who broke through first.
Sacramento Republic get on the board. We go into the second half. The game completely changed, and it was Charleston that answered back.
And it was similar for Charleston like it was in the first half for Sacramento Republic. Getting into this wide space, a great ball from Allen across to Marcanic, and a great finish to the back post. Keeps it low. Just absolutely textbook from the front runner.
25th goal on the year for Marcanic, ties a USL Championship single-season record with Cameron Lancaster, and Haji Berry is on pace to break that record. 86th minute, just a few minutes after Emilio Acasa came on the field, he scored the winner.
And it was a very good goal. It just puts the right direction on. It does take a little bit of a deflection here off the left foot. Vitiello may not have been able to see that as it comes through with not a lot of pace, but great timing on this shot and a great finish for the lead.
Acasa, his 4th goal on the year, his first goal since May, and a game winner for the Battery. Our full-time stats, this was pretty much everything you'd want it to be in a game between these two top teams.
It really was. It was exciting. It was a tale of two halves, and Charleston getting 11 shots in the second half, and all 5 of their shots on frame also came in that second half. But Sacramento Republic still was able to generate chances, but only 3 on frame, and the possession really was still tilted towards the Charleston Battery. In the second half, it just had more purpose and was a lot more dangerous.
That will do it for our coverage tonight from Patriots Point. The Charleston Battery, a come-from-behind victory as they grab all 3 points, their first ever win against Sacramento Republic. For our entire crew and broadcast partner Casey White, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long. It finishes the Charleston Battery 2, the Sacramento Republic 1. Good night from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.